Unit 4. Developing vocabulary. Exercise 3B.
Amazed, bored, confused, disappointed, embarrassed, excited, frightened, inspired, interested, relaxed, surprised, tired, uninspired.
Unit 4. Listening. Exercise 2.
Have you read this story about the man and these vases?
No. What happened?
Well, he was in a museum. Let's see. The British Museum, it says here, in London. He was walking down some stairs when he tripped over his shoelace and fell into a big Chinese vase on the windowsill.
Oh no! He knocked it over?
Yes, it fell onto the floor and smashed into thousands of pieces. But that's not all. There were 2 other vases on the windowsill, and as the first one fell, it knocked into the other 2.
Oh, what a disaster! Did they all break?
Sadly, they did. The man tried to catch one of them, but he wasn't fast enough.
Oof, were they expensive?
Well, it says here they were priceless.
Wow, they must have been very old vases.
Yes, at least 1,000 years old. There weren't any others like them. Look, here's a photo before the accident.
Oh, they were beautiful. It's such a shame. What did the museum do? I suppose you can't do very much with thousands of pieces of broken vase.
Well, that's the amazing thing. People said that it would be impossible to restore the vases. But then an expert took all the pieces and used special technology to start rebuilding them. She worked for 3 months and managed to put all the pieces back together again.
That's incredible. What happened to the man?
The people from the museum asked him how it had happened, and he told them it was an accident. Then they asked him if he realised the vases had been priceless, and he said he had no idea. He felt very bad about it.
Did they make him pay for the damage?
No, they didn't, because it was an accident. But they told him he wasn't allowed to come to the museum anymore.
I'm not surprised he wasn't allowed back. But he should have had to pay something towards the damage, even if it was an accident.
I'm not so sure. I mean, he didn't intend to smash the vases. Besides, the museum should have put them in a safer place. Behind glass, maybe. Instead, they were on a windowsill near a staircase with no protection. That was an accident waiting to happen. I'm surprised nothing had happened to them sooner.
Unit 4. Developing speaking. Exercise 3.
Do you remember any particular school trips?
Oh, yes. The one I remember the most was about 2 years ago when I went to a recording of a poetry program with my class. Oh, and with our teacher, of course.
Where was that?
It was at a small TV studio near to the center of my hometown.
And what happened? Why do you remember it?
Well, at first, it wasn't anything special. It was a bit boring, to be honest. But later, after about half an hour, the presenter asked if anybody had a poem they wanted to read. I was really shy when I was smaller, but I used to write poems. All my friends knew I'd written one that was on the wall of the classroom. So they started to say, "Rana has a poem. Rana has a poem." So the presenter asked me to go up onto the stage. At first, I said I didn't want to, but in the end, she kept on insisting, and so I went.
How did you feel?
Oh, I was really frightened. It was embarrassing because I'd never read anything in public, apart from with friends. Anyway, I wasn't sure I could remember all of the words. I was so nervous that at first nobody could hear me. But after a minute or two, I started to feel more relaxed and enjoy myself. At the end, all of the audience was clapping and shouting my name. It was an amazing experience.
What happened next?
Next, they asked if I'd written any more poems. I said I didn't have one that was ready, just one that wasn't quite finished. But they asked me to read it anyway, so I did. Later on, everybody said that the best thing about the school trip was my poetry. I think that's why I enjoy reading and writing poetry so much now.
Progress test. Units 3 and 4. Exercise 7. Listen to two people who are at the scene of the photograph. Find out what is happening in the scene.
Come on. It's about to start.
What's about to start?
The running.
The running? What is this? A sports event?
Just watch.
Well, what was that all about? A man wearing sports clothes running through the gallery as fast as he can? Oh, look. Now there's another runner. Are they running away from something?
No, I don't think so. It's a work of art. It was designed by an artist called Martin Creed, and it's called Number 850.
Number 850? What a title! What's it all about?
Well, he gives runners 10 pounds an hour to run through the gallery. Apart from the 10 pounds, they get free sports clothes and trainers, and then they have to run as fast as they can.
All right, but what does it mean, though? Is there a message?
The artist said that when you're dead, you don't move, do you? So moving really fast, like when you run fast, is the opposite of death. It's like a symbol of life. That's why the runners have to run as fast as they possibly can.
Yeah, right. Where did he get the idea from?
Apparently, he was in Italy, and he arrived really late to see a museum in Palermo. He only had 5 minutes to see it, so he and his friend just ran all the way through the museum as fast as they could. They spent the 5 minutes running and laughing. He said that he looked at the museum in a totally different way when he was running, not walking slowly. He also said that if you run through a museum, it gives you time to do other more important things in life.
He might be right about that. In fact, I think I'm going to run with the next athlete who goes past.
No, don't do that. The general public aren't allowed to run.
You're joking. Anyway, what happens if you get in the way of a runner?
The artist told them to run round visitors. In fact, one of the runners is the artist himself.
Really?
Yeah, he said he had to train hard to be part of his own work of art.
If I see him, he'll have to run fast. I'd like to say a few things to him, I can tell you.